Alright, hey, it's Zach. I'm going to go through a league that I just finished up here with Abbot Zoo. This was match one, and we'll just get it started real quick. Get our opening hands going here. Alright, so our opening hand here has Mesa, Mountain, Seal of Fire, Kurt Ape, Tarmogoyf, Sarkis Command, and Abbot. So a very solid hand. Would keep this against any deck in the blind, hands down. So our opponent starts off with Mountain, plays Swift Spear. Pretty obvious, just burn. So we take one right off the bat. Our draw step is Loam Line, which changes a little bit what we were going to do. We were just going to get Mountain Kurt Ape, but now since we can have Loam Line backed up with the Mountain at the same, or the Forest at the same time, we're just going to go ahead and do that right away. So we're going to crack the Mesa for a Temple Garden and play the Loam Line. Our opponent's going to untap, play a Mountain. They're going to Searing Blaze our Lion. Kind of crappy. We're at 13. We're going to take 2, go down to 11. Not much we could do there. So we draw another Mountain. Kind of not great, but it is what it is. So we're going to play a Mountain, and then I'm pretty sure we just throw it on the Tarmogoyf right now. Yep, okay, so that's what we do. We throw it on Tarmogoyf. We just put a big blocker in the way of this Swift Spear, hoping to blank a little bit of damage. So our opponent plays Gitu Encampment, which is very strange. I haven't seen that in a long time. And then plays Goblin Guide. Swings in with both. Goblin Guide trigger. Let's see. Does it show me on the replay here? It doesn't show me, but it wasn't a land. And so I'll just block in front of Goblin Guide. Just not wanting to get this Tarmogoyf killed by the Swift Spear if he does have a Lightning Bolt or any spell, just to pump it above that. But he does have the Lightning Bolt, so he's going to take out the Tarmogoyf after damage is assigned. And so, okay, so Goblin Guide revealed Lightning Bolt. I kind of wish it would show that over here, but it doesn't. That's kind of the bad part of replays. So we are just going to throw it on the Abbot right away. See what we get. Because we can just back it up with Kurt Ape if it's something, if it's not a land or another red spell. So what we're going to end up doing is just playing our Kurt Ape, because we have that for it. Dromoka's Command, it's kind of a bummer losing that. That's one of the best cards we have against burn. But that's the way it goes sometimes. And just getting this body on the ground is going to let us start being able to attack and stave off some damage from creatures. So our opponent plays Wooded Foothills and a Hellspark Elemental, which I thought was kind of crazy. I haven't seen Hellspark Elemental either lately. So what we're going to do is just throw this Kurt Ape in front of that Hellspark as fast as possible. We're at 10 already. We can't really afford to go down to 7 when our opponent is still at 20. So we're gonna throw that Kurt Ape under the bus. He did his job. Good job, Kurt Ape. We love you. Thank you for your service. So we draw Arid Mesa. We're just going to drop down the Seal of Fire, trigger this Prowess, throw the Seal of Fire down, just as an insurance policy. Again, something that might come up. Here we do so with our Abbot, our 3/2. If he has a spell and wants to block and trade, that's totally fine. We just want to get that Swift Spear off the table. And if he doesn't, great, he's taking 3 damage, which he does. So after that, I don't think we do anything here. I believe we just pass the turn. Yep, so we're holding up a Tarkus Command and Bolt. We have lots of burn. Seal of Fire, Bolt, a Tarkus Command. 8 points of damage. Could put him to 9. But we know the Hellspark is coming back this turn. So I'm pretty sure we just use the Seal of Fire here on one of these. And then the Bolt on the other. But we'll find out. I honestly don't remember. Goblin Guide triggers Wooded Foothills. Fantastic. So before blocks, okay, we're going to Seal of Fire away the Hellspark. And then I believe we bolt the Goblin Guide here. Yep. Bolt the Goblin Guide. Take 1. Go to 9. And I don't think we crack here. I think we're just trying to conserve some life total. So we do. We do crack here. Get a Stomping Ground. Get some more green sources. That makes sense. We were paid off very well getting a Tarmogoyf, even though we do have a Forest still in the deck that we could fetch out. So at this point, we're going on the offensive. no use holding back here when we have a Tarmogoyf coming. So we take him down to 2. He has no effects here with this Foothills. He's only got 1 card in hand, so we're feeling pretty good here. That's kind of thanks to that Abbot letting us play the Kurdape and its prowess triggers. So we're going to just drop down the Tarmogoyf, pass the turn here, hold up this Foothills that we drew. 2 Swift Spears is not great. So, but he does not want to swing it into the Tarmogoyf, which tells me he doesn't really have anything here. So I'm going to take this time to just start turtling up myself. This Atarka's command is going to buy me a lot of time, and it'll allow me to just close the game if I have to. So I just play the Kurdape and start turtling. We're gonna wait it out. We need to block if we can. Searing Blaze here, he goes after the Kurdape, which is gonna meet a very untimely demise. That is the Searing Blaze, because we're gonna just counter it with this Atarka's command. We are gonna take the 3, but we're gonna send 3 back at him, and we're gonna keep this Kurdape alive. So we're gonna stay ahead on board. We are gonna fall to 5 though, which is pretty scary considering he has this Gitu encampment. I'm not sure if he remembers that he has it for most of the rest of the game, but it's kind of a bummer that we had to waste all that on this Abbot here and not be able to swing with it, being it on his turn. But we do what we have to keep our Kurdape alive here, because just having Kurdape and Abbot hanging back is going to stop these Swift Spears coming in and potentially doing a lot of damage to us. So we untap here, find Kasali Pride Mage on top of our deck. We're going to just play that, and we're going to swing into the Tarmogoyf for 5 damage. So we're now on the offensive. He's down to 6 if he doesn't block here, which I don't believe he does. Yeah, he doesn't. And we're going to keep his Foothills uncracked because we are not going to 4. We haven't seen white, but it's still good to just not die to a Boros Charm or any combination of just like 2 burn spells, which I guess the difference between 5 and 6 and 4 and 6 is very little, but there is the off chance that he does have white and has Boros Charm, so we're not going to risk that. We draw Windswept Heath here. We're just going to keep bashing with just Tarmogoyf. He's got to start blocking here or he's dying soon. And I believe he does. Yep, he does start blocking with Swift Spear, and we're fine just playing this game. We have a board that we can just swing all in next turn if we have to. He's got 2 cards in hand, which is a bit scary. We keep drawing lands, which is not great. We'd like to draw, Lightning Bolts or Wild Coddles or, any real threat here. But at this point, I feel it's safe to start swinging it with 2 creatures, since we have 2 to block, and he's got to block with his Swift Spear, or it is lethal. We could have swung with everything to just present 100% lethal, but if the 2 cards he has in his hand are burn, we don't want to risk that. So we are going to play it safe and allow him to block and not just fire off some burn spells at our face in response to these attacks. So he suspends a Rift Bolt. We're going to untap here, and we're just going to swing all out and kill him. So, a game where, we were down to 10 by the time he even started taking damage from us. We came back just from having great top decks and Abbot of Carol keep helping us out. Game 2 here, I guess you can see that we won game 2 as well. We'll start it up real quick. So, game 2, our opening hand is Mesa, Firewalker, Abbot, Wooded, locks it on, Tarmogoyf, Plains. This hand is perfect against burn. It has everything we want. We have a turn 2 Firewalker, turn 3 Smiter, and a Tarmogoyf to back it all up once things start going wrong and spells are slung into the graveyard. So, I don't remember how we started. I believe we just fetched up threw down a fetch, said go, and then I think we got a Temple Garden at the end of his turn. So we've been Lava Spiked twice here already. So yep, we got Temple Garden end of turn. Gonna untap, just play this Plains, throw it on the Firewalker. And from this point, we feel very safe. We haven't seen the white from him yet, so we don't think he has the path. Relic is kind of a pain in the butt against Tarmogoyf, but it's fine. So here, we're just going to crack Mesa for, I think, just Mountain, and then just play Smiter here, and swing in for 2. Because this Smiter is going to survive a creature, and he's really only on 1 land here. I'm not too concerned. I believe he cracks this Relic here and draws, trying to find lands. We're just going to cast Abbot while we're ahead on board and have all the lands so we can cast anything that we find, assuming it's not a 3-mana spell. So we toss Abbot down, we find Curdape. We're going to play Wooded Foothills, crack it for basic, and then just play that Curdape and preserve these cards we have in our hand. It would have been nice to play Tarmogoyf there, but we're going to get the value off Abbot when we can. Bash in for 6, take him to 11. Pretty simple stuff here. We're going to gain a life off the Rift Bolt. We're going to take 2, which is fine. I'm not very concerned here. He's stuck on 1 land, and we honestly had like the best opening hand possible against Burn. We had the Firewalker into Smiter, which is exactly what you want. Turn 1 to Coddle would have been great. However, or a Curdape or a Loam Lion, but that would require us to take some hefty damage right away. So we're just going to shore this game up by swinging with our 3 creatures, playing a Curdape, gaining a life, surviving at 16, and we're just going to flaunt our riches, play the Tarmogoyf as well. He's going to try to lightning bolt us. He lightning bolts himself. Seppuku. Alright, so that was match 1 of 5 with Abbot Zoo in a Modern League. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with round 2.